Live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
All right, beautiful people. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. John, I hear a little bit of feedback. Maybe it's me.
I think it is.
No, I don't think it's me. Anyways, we're live, Crossroads Sports Radio. Myself, John Birdsong, episode number 328. We were just live the other night, man. Me, you, and Tanner were talking about the bracket. Man, I am getting feedback from somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's not my stuff. It sounds like it's 2 years.
I don't know.
Okay, perfect. Can you hear me? Can you talk? Yeah, it's definitely on yours that's doing it. But anyways,
I just cut the mic. Man.
That's what you have to do. Cut the mic, man. Jono Birdsong. Anyways, 328. Myself, Jonathan Birdsong, will bring it to you tonight. We've got NFL action to talk, a little bit of news and notes from the NFL, the world of professional football, Colts, playoff bonanza that they're trying to get into. We'll talk Steelers. We'll talk the face of the league. They want to already change another replay ruling, so we'll talk that news and notes. Good evening to our sponsor, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance as well. We've got college football notes that we talked already, but we're going to re-talk again. It's been a few days. We got Purdue Boilermakers' new head coach. We've got Ball State with their new coach, and that viral clip that went out a couple days ago already, which is, if you haven't seen it, it's on the Twitter, it's on the Facebook, I think, and it's also on our Crossroads Sports TikTok. Bill Belichick, we'll talk that random ass hire and in the college football world. We've got Pacers news and notes, John, how bad that damn season is going right now for our Pacers, as well as some people are rich. There's some people rich in Major League Baseball right now. I could probably buy a few countries out there. So we'll talk that and more. And I've got one, ladies and gentlemen. We love when we can get our Jonathan Birdsong fired up a little bit. And I've got one on here that we'll get him a little fired up here this evening. By the way, John, I still have not heard from our people at the Indy Classic. And I've sent a follow-up email as well for this Saturday.
It's all good. It'll probably come through. It'll come through. But, you know what I'm saying? we gotta get our, you know what I'm saying, a day organized. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna show up. We've never not missed one. So
yeah, I agree. Before we get started in the NFL, we'll go to our sponsor. He pays the bills. He helps keep us going. His question is, answer this question. The quarterback for Oregon, his stats and Shador's stats are his stats are better than Shador's. How are they not? How's he not in the Heisman race?
Because this is like his 6th year. You know what I'm saying? Oregon's more than just Dylan Gabriel. And don't get it twisted, man. You know what I'm saying? Dylan Gabriel was a difference maker for the last 2 seasons, I do believe, I thought, in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? For the Sooners. So just, they don't necessarily, the NCAA don't necessarily want to award, you know what I'm saying, long in the tooth players, you know what I'm saying? So, a guy like Dylan Gabriel, again, you know what I'm saying, he and this particular coach, and you know what I'm saying, what they got kind of together, 1 year ahead. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Reef thought, you know what I'm saying, kind of looked at it, you know what I'm saying, with his universal mind, thought they would be in this place next year. And Oregon's kind of put them players. Again, like I said on last time we were out, you know what I'm saying, if you believe in the rankings, if you believe in the statistics of college football, man, top 13, top 15, special teams, and the defense and the offense, man. So they check off all boxes. Why wouldn't you know what I'm saying, expect them to be here? You know what I'm saying? Plus, man, the Phil Knight, man, played like did he not jump another $70 million into the NIL and all that, man. So
Oregon's got a way better defense than I thought this year. That's why I thought it'd be one more year.
That's what we kind of need to really start talking about, man. So like, you know what I'm saying? I got into a discussion, debate, whatever, hurt feelings, man. People don't understand, man. You know what I'm saying? However much money they put into, you know what I'm saying, into your program, you know what I'm saying, the expectation, you know what I'm saying, it kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of, you know what I'm saying, explodes. So, you know what I'm saying, you think about Oregon, what they put into their, as far as like, you know, to the dollar amount. I told you $75 million still not added. It's already a Nike school, y'all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he puts another $75 million in there because he's, you know what I'm saying, he's alumnus of that, you know what I'm saying, and he represents all the other alumnus, you know what I'm saying? He wants, you know what I'm saying, he wants Oregon, he wanted them to be right here, man. So here they are. So like when you have teams sitting on the outside, because I know people that still wondering why Alabama and Miami ain't in it. Well, Miami and Alabama, they put up a big ton of money, just like Oregon, just like Ohio State did. And think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? When we think about Ohio State, you know, Ohio State, if he don't win the championship, he's out, right? Because of his $20 million. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Who they got this kid over here from Kansas State? They got the kid, you know what I'm saying? He ain't McDonald's All-American, but you feel me? You know what I'm saying? The wide out, who's supposed to be the next greatest thing, you know what I'm saying? Since Harrison Jr. is gone. So like, man, these games do matter. You know what I'm saying? Every game every game matters. And you know what I'm saying? And when you put, you know what I'm saying, when you know what I'm saying, your collective or whatever, you know what I'm saying, puts up $20-30 million, the expectation level is there. And then guess what, Brandon? The committee kind of sees this too, man. So like a team like Miami, who, you know what I'm saying, they got a $20 million roster, like you can't be losing to like Syracuse. Who has, you know what I'm saying? You can't lose. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? There's no excuses. Alabama, again, you can't beat Georgia and then fall back. And I get it, man. Everybody wants to pull Vandy, and Vandy leveled up this year, but you can't lose to Vandy when you have that kind of roster and talent and money behind it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I get it, man. People think, but see, people though, Brandon, and I don't know, man. We can kind of rank it as we kind of go through this college football thing. We can kind of rank it if you really want to know. But it doesn't matter. Your conference does not win the championship. The school does. You know what I'm saying? So whether you believe the Big Ten is the number 2 conference, the SEC is the number 1 conference, you know what I'm saying, or however that kind of pans out, man. The field is the field. The stats are the stats, and I think they got the 12 best teams. I think that I'm pretty sure I ain't pretty sure. I'm 100% sure they got it right. You know what I'm saying? So for all those others that, you know what I'm saying, didn't necessarily make it, you know what I'm saying, hopefully they got a great consolation bowl that, you know what I'm saying, that people are kind of watch. I'm not going to necessarily be there for BYU and Colorado myself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like, you know what I'm saying, what kind of, why they schedule that? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we got a good Alabama versus Michigan. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what, you know what I'm saying, what that kind of looks like. And there's some other games this time around, you know what I'm saying, around. But like, no, man, I think Oregon, to go back to where Oregon's put themselves in the prime spot. You know what I'm saying? And why not? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you kind of look at their bracket. Some people think they got a hard bracket. Hell, how's the hard bracket? They already beat Ohio State.
I have problems with the bracket.
You said what now?
I have a problem with the bracket.
Well, let me ask. You want to reseed? You don't think conference champions should be over?
And my biggest gripe is number 1 Oregon. You win the Big Ten championship. You're the only undefeated team, and you damn near you have to. Okay, you may have to play Ohio State, who you beat by 1 next. Who really are they really truly an 8 seed? Probably not. Then guess what do you get after that? You get to go down to the Cotton Bowl and play Texas in Texas. How does that do you any favor as a number 1 seed? And then if you win that, you possibly have to play Georgia. Possibly. They may lose. But you have to play Georgia in Georgia for the national championship. Now, that one I know you can't move, but these others, John, they put Oregon at a big disadvantage for this. And you know, they would have been better off losing to get a better seed and dropping.
Well, I don't know. Ohio State is on shaky ground, Brandon. They come on, Brandon. They lost to Michigan. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Why do they have such inconsistent play? Man, Brandon, they damn near, if they didn't beat Indiana, like they probably be out like Alabama looking around like why you know what I'm saying, we got a $25 million roster. How come we can't be? Why can't we come beat? You know what I'm saying? But again, I want to get, man, who's scared? Who's really? And right now, Brandon, we haven't made our pictures yet, man. Who's like Tennessee might beat Ohio State, and then it won't even have to get like you'll get fired at halftime. He damn near. Or before the, before the 2-minute warning is over in the fourth quarter. But that's a tough game for Ohio State, Tennessee. It's not necessarily a given that Ohio State kind of wins that. Again, man, Oregon. They ain't no coward. Like they didn't play no chump. They didn't play no chump schedule in their preseason. They played their Big Ten season. They came undefeated, man. If again, man, Brandon, like at this point, who's really scared of Texas? Think about it. Like they was
Right.
over penalized. Yes, they got.
Here's my thing,
defense.
John. You
Go
give
ahead.
Oregon. I've already talked about how I felt Oregon was kind of like screwed on this a little bit, and especially when they have to go to Texas to play the Cotton Bowl. Like,
well, it's the Cotton Bowl.
Why are you playing? Right. Okay.
Well,
but still,
it's the Cotton Bowl.
You can move. They can move whatever bowls wherever, and they chose that one for this, and it makes zero sense there. But the easiest route is the team that lost in the Penn Championship, Penn State.
You think
play SMU, you play Boise, and guess what? You're in the Final Four.
But why do we think? So why does the narrative think that Penn State? Shoot, I trusted them way too much, and look at him. I could have had a better record, Brad, if it just James Franklin last freaking week, and thinking he was gonna win the Big Ten championship. Man, he ain't gonna never win it. Well, if he has in the past, he ain't gonna never win in the future because like it's probably Oregon next year, and it looks like Michigan got something special in their quarterback here. They got a Herb Street son signed up, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Michigan got something special, you know what I'm saying? And we know Alabama and LSU ain't gonna just stand pat. You know what I mean? So whatever they got, I just don't necessarily think. I do believe Penn State is a very strong defensive team against a mid. I mean, they are a mid-major crusher. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? SMU ain't necessarily a mid-major. SMU, think about it, Brandon. SMU played that wacky. I'm gonna point back to that. SMU and all the other ACC teams play that wacky ACC schedule. Everybody can say that the ACC is probably underneath the Big 12 as far as power ranking, but guess what, man? If I'm Clemson and I go into, or I'm SMU, I'm SMU in this regard. We played in California, right? We played in Pittsburgh. We played in, you see what I'm saying? We played in Boston, and you know what I'm saying, at Boston College, man. So have playing real travel, man. It ain't like Texas. SMU was just playing Texas State and Oklahoma A&T, like they're around the way girls. You know what I'm saying? They teed off on some teams. They had to you know what I'm saying? What do I call it? A transcontinental schedule, right? Just like, you know what I'm saying? Just like that kind of mirrors like how, think about it, Brandon. Like the map, the schools got the you know what I'm saying, the schools, the conferences got bigger, but the maps still kind of stay the same. So like, you know what I'm saying, some of these schools, like the California schools in the Big Ten, they suffered. They didn't really have USC, UCLA, like all those lovely games where California would come and their people, their fans, the Stanford would come, like that's gone now. You know what I'm saying? So Brandon, I still think like where you play at and like who you cater to, your fandom, and like that all does matter. You know what I'm saying? So Penn State, SMU don't have no problem kicking nobody's ass. It looks like, man, you know what I'm saying, wherever you send them out, they ain't got no problem kicking nobody's ass, man. What people gonna say, well, they didn't play, like no, they played some teams. Now, if let's say for argument's sake, Penn State gets past SMU, right? It's not like Boise. Again, man, Boise State played some people. Again, they played to Oregon, lost by 3. You know what I'm saying, to Oregon. Hell, they was playing catch up to Oregon, Penn State was they not? Right? You know what I'm saying? They also played, if I do believe, Boise State also played Oregon State, which was a game, you know what I'm saying, kind of 2 years in the making when Oregon State was a Power 5. I think the Pac-12, I don't know how that works. It's a little wacky still for me, Brandon, but they still technically considered a Power 4 or Power 5. That's on your schedule. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily give them, it probably give them a crappy net rating, but it's still considered like, hey, we played 2 Power 4 teams or 2 Power 5 teams, whatever the terminology is now. And we played our own schedule of mid-major. UNLV is in their wheelhouse. They beat UNLV. It's not necessarily what kind of would a Boise versus a Penn State defensively, man, they're gonna be at that quarterback's throat. Right, I'm pretty rock solid. The kid Ashton Jennings, he's special. Like he's gonna go off. You know what I'm saying? We'll go off, meaning he'll get a touchdown or 2, right, and maybe over 120 yards against the Penn State. Against the SMU, that's a whole nother thing because that's more offense than I'm saying than the big than a super Big 12 appetite. So like, no, man, I don't necessarily think it's necessarily guaranteed just because Penn State is what we can say that. Do you really think they better than IU? Are they the third best team in the Big Ten? I don't think they better than IU, man. They didn't play this year, obviously, but I don't think they better than IU, man. I don't. I think if if they had to play one another, IU would come out victorious. I'm not that strong. Like, man, I'm not that strong on Penn State. Penn State can survive.
Well, you really are starting to appeal to the homers. The homer down there in Bloomington.
Well,
put your hat on.
Well, hey, it's upstairs. Listen, dude. It's not. You want to go down to the other game, Notre Dame? That's a tough one, Brandon. That is going to be so close. And maybe like I know the point differential was like 5, or was it 6 on the point spread?
It was originally 8.5. It's kind of gone down since then. As of right now,
don't be surprised.
We won't make our picks till next week. Right. Actually, we'll make our picks. They'll be posted. We don't have a show next week because I'm on vacation. But give me a second here. Let me bring it up. DraftKings Sportsbook right now. The game is let's see, where are you at? Where the hell is the game? Oh, 7.5 Notre Dame minus 7.5 now. So it went down a point.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. You're looking at a 28-21, kind of game. The reason why IU got in, man, not to continue to validate that, once you start, if they played a lot of those mid-majors close, then the committee probably would have let them not, they would have been, hey, man, well, what about Miami or what about, Alabama? But they crushed all their competition. It wasn't even close. They put, 2-3, it was a point colossal. It wasn't just Indiana State, it wasn't just Purdue, it was Western Illinois, they rolled Nebraska. Just lest y'all forget. I didn't. I know it didn't necessarily roll because they are offensively plus minus minded team. Which is kind of which kind of gives me kind of pause against Notre Dame. But like when you tell me that's going to be the point spread again, like Riley Leonard on the other side, his quarterback play, you're talking 30. I think he had like 30 touchdowns total, 14 to 16 touchdowns in the air and 14. So like they got IU's defense is capable of taking something away, and like hopefully, but like I don't know if they can take the rushing attack of Notre Dame, and that's what they need to. IU would want this game to be in the 30s, and Notre Dame is kind of fine with it being in the 20s, and that's you said my pick. Man, Brandon,
I don't know. You don't make your pick yet. You don't have to make the pick.
Okay,
yet.
All right, cool. But like,
all I do want to ask is,
that's gonna be a very close game.
This won't be our picks against the spread that we do, but looking at this bracket, John, just straight up, who do you pick? Who is your pick to win the 2025 national championship? Because here's my thing: every single team on here has a flaw.
Correct. Rockets is Georgia. Is my man gonna be playing by then or not? He's gonna be on sideline.
He's gonna be out.
And man, creation to come back if the Golden Domers can somehow beat Notre Dame, beat IU, and beat Georgia. But that would be you be looking at a national championship game. I still like Oregon to get to the national championship game. And if you're telling me Georgia is limping, then I'm got Notre Dame meeting Oregon.
Okay.
And then I kind of got Oregon winning because, like, Oregon would have had beaten a Tennessee or Ohio State again, and potentially a Clemson or Arizona or Texas.
Yeah,
no shade on
the bracket. I would have Oregon. I would have Oregon against. It's funny you actually went there out because I was going to have Oregon against Notre Dame as well. So
and then don't lose, but like, man, don't understand this. A lot of people discount Arizona State. If Arizona State plays, you get into a high flying game with them, man. It's gonna be like a lot of coaching to get you out of that one. But like, no, I really do like. I really like Oregon to kind of come out of their bracket. And like I said, if you're telling me Georgia's not 100%, Notre Dame knocked them out, and Notre Dame is not afraid of anybody. not underneath, not Penn State, not SMU, and not Boise.
Yeah. This will get you fired up a little bit, John. I'm excited to get this. I'm gonna get you a little fired up with this. So it was posted And I'll put it on the screen here in a second.
Okay.
Florida Gators. I don't know if you've seen this. They had a linebacker, Jake Pyburn, who wanted some guarantees, according to Zach Oboverdary, for him
Okay.
to stay at Florida and not enter the transfer portal. He's like, hey, well, you know how the NIL is now, right? So we got
Right.
NIL and all this. This is where we're at. And I'm going to share the tweet right now for everybody to see. Jake Pyburn wanted some guarantees. He wanted $45,000 a month, a guaranteed starting position at outside linebacker, guaranteed to play on third downs, and more snaps in the rotation. Florida wasn't willing to agree, so he entered the transfer portal.
And that don't necessarily mean, y'all. I'm not necessarily appalled at that by any realm of imagination. If you have to ask for it, and if they say no, you know what I'm saying, then you have to.
John,
but
you don't ask for a starting position and guarantee play on third downs.
Brennan, like, but no, you can, but like, ain't no coach worth his salt going to acquiesce to that. I'm glad the homie told him to go take a kite. Man, dude, ain't nobody giving you. Who are you? You ain't no Kelsey. Is his last name Kelsey? It's not. Is his last name Gronkowski? It's not. You know what I'm saying? We're not. I mean, you see what I'm saying? All right, dude, we're not. No, man. Dude, we're not giving you no $45,000. $45,000. That probably equates to like $1 million or whatever. But it sounds like you could give two shits about school or the team. It's me. That's kind of how it sounds like once all those demands kind of get leaked. I don't. But again, like somebody can take it and tell him, "Hey, man," and humble him, or kind of get close to whatever number he got in his, you know, what I'm saying, him and his representation it might have. But like, man, I really can't see that. You know, what I'm saying, going to a Michigan and saying, you know, what I'm saying, he going in with no demands into Michigan. I can't really see that going into demands into another SEC school outside of maybe, you know, what I'm saying, somebody's desperate, not LSU. Not Alabama, you know what I'm saying? They you know, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying. On this level of football, it's the coach. It's the
Right.
coach that kind of makes the demand. But I'm sure he'll find a Huckleberry out there. You know what I'm saying? Because like Brandon, he kind of sounds like a guy that really wants to go to the NFL. A lot of people believe that some teams are kind of going to go to an operating model that's more NFL like, and like how can you? It's blatantly telling you how can you get to the NFL, which I don't know, man. I thought college football did that anyway. But you know what I'm saying, here they didn't hire Bill Belichick to the University of North Carolina, which I don't know if that's gonna be a, you know what I'm saying, shit or shot over storm.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
was
I'm
going to
saying?
ask you. 6-time, 3 years, 30 mil.
The homie, and the homie Herm Edwards wasn't like pissing on it because they are two different levels of coaches. Right. Herm is a more of a rah-rah system, but get them up. I'm not saying Herm don't know X's and O's. We just know Bill Belichick is X and O's. They stay up all kind of night, you know what I'm saying, that midnight hour, all those things. Herm to a degree is too. But again, we know Bill Belichick to be more cerebral. Hell, he's got championships, like, you know what I'm saying, he's run out of fingers, right? All those things are true. What is kind of weird, like, it's great to see Bill Belichick still got the, you know what I'm saying, the fire in him to still want to coach and whatnot. It's just the NFL told him no. The NFL has told him no. Chicago is potentially open. Well, it's open. You know what I'm saying? You can't necessarily see that interim kind of going there, but especially like over Bill Belichick interim. Like, who the hell are you? You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, is Atlanta open yet? But did they find? I don't
They
know.
fired a 73-year-old to hire a 72-year-old.
Well, listen, they thinking it's the celebrity hire. You can get all those things to kind of come, you know what I'm saying, and filter back in with it. But dude, he's like, unless he gets a lot of people to the rate that he retains, like you gotta jump on it now, Bill. You gotta get into recruiting and all those things, man. So you can get a staff together, you know, people will come, but you know what I'm saying, how different will it be?
Yeah, he just
That's gonna be.
It was just announced a few minutes ago that he actually has hired Michael Lombardi, who was one of the hosts of VSiN, the sports betting network out in Vegas, hired him to be his football general manager. with the team there. And if you remember Michael Lombardi, he also did the same GM role when he was over at with the Patriots back in the day as well. So
Yeah.
not a shock.
Well, we can continue to hate the evil empire, but I guarantee you, man, Bill Belichick's gonna have to learn a couple things, man, because though we can kind of gloat on him and winning all these Super Bowls and having Tom Brady and Brewski and who name me another Patriot that you hate, Brandon Reed. You know what I'm saying? You have to recruit, and in order to be good and great, and to get to navigate through your conference and get to these playoffs, man, you gotta recruit great players. The what you tell them is great. With the coaching that you tell them and you show them the rings is gonna be great. But in understanding that now you coaching against some of these other guys that's been out here, for like however long. The homie. You telling me the homie ain't chopping at the bit to beat Bill Belichick? Our homie, not Kirby Smart, with him too. But Dabo Swinney, can you imagine what that's gonna look like? You know what I'm saying? So, like, like, what that should put on my resume, man, we beat a Super Bowl champion. So, like, I don't have to. If I was Bill, he needs to collar at the homie and see what kind of advice he should give. Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is probably outside of Nick Saban. That's our argument. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had call in. Urban Meyer is probably the greatest college football coach because he goes into your program, knows what it needs, knows what he don't need, and
you're fraud. Just stop.
You telling me Urban Meyer? Okay.
Idiots. And 3 foolish
Okay.
men put you right in that category.
The greatest of all time? No. The greatest of all time resided down in Alabama.
Who's a better program builder?
Nick Saban.
Nah.
John. Nah. Did you?
Nah,
do we need to go back and look what the hell Mike Shula left this Alabama franchise in before Nick Saban took over? The juggernaut that was Alabama. Listen, I hate Alabama just as much as you do, but you gotta give him props, man. Nick Saban, what he created down there was a monster. Listen, I could bring up the YouTube video of him. I am not going and interviewing for the job at Alabama when he was down in Miami. And then guess what? 2 days later, I am the head coach of Alabama.
Man, Urban Meyer. The Florida years?
Where are you at on Purdue's new head coach?
I told you, man.
Have you changed?
You gonna
apologize?
Who's quarterbacking? His son?
Oh, 3-star quarterback.
His son is quarterbacking. No, man. Our guy is heavy on defense. He's proven to be a program builder. You know what I'm saying? He built up UNLV to respectable heights. There was a little bit of controversy with UNLV earlier this year, where their mid-season, their quarterback, dipped out on him because he said, he was promised one thing and got another. Brandon, he was getting $40,000. He wanted $40,000 a month. He wanted $40,000 a month his damn self. A quarterback to transfer from Holy Cross. I didn't know Holy Cross had a football team.
Damn.
He transferred from Holy Cross, was feeling good about being in at UNLV, and thought they was gonna pay him an extra $40,000. They was like, dude, get up out of here. We haven't heard from him since, but he might show up down in West Lafayette.
The football schedules have been released with dates and where they're at. Indiana, the cupcake. Let the cupcake continue again.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that, Brandon.
Home against Old Dominion, home against Kennesaw State, home against Indiana State, and then home against Illinois to start the year. Just barn burners. Then they go to Iowa, bye week at Oregon, home against Michigan State, home against UCLA, at Maryland, at Penn State, home against Wisconsin, a bye, and then at Purdue. For the Boilermakers, home against Ball State to start the season.
Loss.
And, home against Southern Illinois, and then they're home against Southern Cal, and then they go to Notre Dame, and then a bye week, and then home against Illinois, at Minnesota, at Northwestern, home against Rutgers, at Michigan, home against Ohio State, at Washington. The homie's got a tough schedule, then home against IU. Purdue has the tougher schedule,
And they ain't
and you're
right.
coming from
Well,
the ground up.
but how many wins you see there? How you feeling?
For Purdue, let me
They
go
got.
through them real quick.
We got to see the recruits first. We got to see what kind of. We got to see the recruits first.
2, 3, 3 and 9.
I mean, that won't get him fired. I mean, that ain't gonna. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
he ain't fired after one.
He'll be fired.
First year.
I kind of when you went over IU, I kind of see them. I mean, they got some decent recruits coming in, but it ain't no slam bam. We still got to see what kind of happens transpires with NIL as well. I kind of see IU, of course, taking a step back from a 1-loss record. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They'll still potentially be like 5-0. That Illinois game is going to be tough for them. It really is. You know what I'm saying? Next year, but I can't see them beating Oregon, and then, you know what I'm saying? We're going to really see how good they are when they face Penn State. So,
Yeah, we'll see. More to come on that as we get closer and closer to it. Ball State's head coach, John. We turned on that. Are we all right?
Hey man, me and you are all right with it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gets the benefit of the doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in love with coaching, in love with the grind. You spent like how many? He was 7 years at Ohio State. I mean, Butler. My guy was. I said Ohio State. I wish he was at Ohio State because we'd be like roll him in. But man,
Tanner wasn't a fan of him being a Butler, man.
Yeah,
that's about like Holy Cross.
About like, you know what I'm saying? You might see Butler out here, you know what I'm saying, one of these parks.
Hey man, could you imagine Bill Belichick was the head coach of Ball State?
We'd be up there every Saturday, man, trying to get in.
And I'll tell you this: I will reverse course for everybody, including myself, that didn't think Bill Belichick was going to be able to handle the NIL and go out and handle recruiting.
No, he's got to hit it. I think
it's right in front of us. He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. That's the best recruiting you can do.
Nah, like I try to tell you, Herm said, man, the parents are going to want to see him in recruiting, not the emissary. You know what I'm saying? And then understanding the ins and outs of college football.
But if he can recruit the girlfriend for 24 years old, he can recruit a player.
He better watch out, man. Well, ain't nobody. She ain't leaving Bill Belichick. She ain't crazy.
Yeah, she ain't leaving. Not at all.
That's the Michael Jordan show.
Hold on a second. I got the. Okay, I was looking at the Ole Miss schedule. It's interesting.
Ole Miss,
Georgia State, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tulane, LSU, Washington State, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, and Mississippi State. They may go 11-1 again.
The Citadel.
Well, that's the old Alabama game, you know. They're going to the playoff next year. That schedule right there shows them in the playoffs.
You think
Lane Train's
you got Ole Miss for sure.
100%.
He kind of seemed Brandon. He kind of seemed a little pissy, man. Like, dude, like, man, you didn't play no, like, dude, they lost, like, they beat Alabama, and then they lost the next week to Tennessee.
Hey, you know what's tonight?
Wednesday.
Remember me and you went to the Lawrence North game?
Is that when we see?
Yeah, they're playing tonight.
Oh, okay.
Looks like they're playing at Lawrence North tonight. So, shout out to that. What else I got, John? We'll go NFL. Dive over to the NFL, then we'll go to the NBA, and then I got one more hot topic for John to get him fired up in the evening.
Nah.
NFL. Steelers beat the Browns pretty handedly on Sunday.
I know you was about that.
Yeah, man, it was kind of one of those relaxing games, and it was a good victory. Tough part of the schedule comes now, man. They're 10-3. Somebody asked me what I thought they could finish. I could easily see them being 10-3. Yeah, 11-6 in the season, and they're 10-3 right now.
Who you think Kansas City gonna beat them?
They will lose 3 of the last 4. They play at Philly this week, home against the Chiefs on Christmas, They go to Baltimore, and then they finish with home against Cincinnati.
Philly's weird though, Brandon. Like these dudes still are they still arguing with one another.
Yeah, what's the deal, man? Why we beefing?
AJ Brown is still like, man, we could get more
Well, who's
passes.
AJ Brown? This dude ain't showed up in how long? I have him on my fantasy team. He scored one damn touchdown in 7 games.
Freaking Hollywood Brown. We win the damn game. Like this dude up here talking about, yeah. Hey man, let me tell you something. Any football coach is gonna tell you, man, if they can win a game running the ball, they're gonna run the ball. You know what I'm saying? First. You know what I'm saying? If they offense, if that defensive line it sucks that much, they're gonna run the ball. You know what I'm saying? First. Sorry, AJ. You just be a blocker today. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. Pittsburgh, they should feel a little bit better than 6 games, Brandon. I know, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to be humble and say 3 more games, 3 more losses. But like, man, be a little more cocky, man, about it, man.
How impressed are you with Russ Wilson? 6-1 as a starter.
It's like you kind of like everybody's kind of waiting for the something. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like I told you so. But like, nah, man, he's thinking. Hey, Brandon, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Not right now. He's thinking like, how can I get back to the $25 million contract for next year? Even if it's with the Pittsburgh Steelers or whomever,
I don't
right?
want to pay that to any quarterback. I like what we've paid right now.
I guess so, man. You got that on two reclamation quarterbacks
for $3 billion.
Chicago, probably. You know what? Sometimes though, Brandon, you know what I'm saying. A lot of even us analysts out here. Like Justin Fields probably should have been on clipboard. No shade. You know what I'm saying? I think he was for a little bit, but he probably should have been like, dude, we should have had a little bit more veteran presence out here. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, they ain't ready, man. Look at your homie Pickens from last year, Kenny Pickens. They traded like he's the immaturity. What do you mean I can't start? Like, dude, like this is Russell Wilson coming over here. Who are you? Sorry, buddy. Yes, get his ass up out of here. And that's what happened. You know what I mean? But like, nah, you gotta like what you kind of got. I mean, we ain't talking about Russ for MVP, but like, cause I don't know his interception. I don't know his touchdown interception.
No, my vote's for Saquon Barkley.
Man, you gonna ruffle more feathers than that.
He's on pace right now to beat the all-time rushing record of Derek Dickerson.
You trying to ruffle more feathers in that Philadelphia locker room, man. If he becomes MVP, man, the quarterback's gonna be pissed. I'll be MVP. But like, nah, man, I like Pittsburgh. You say tough schedule, man. I think Pittsburgh, maybe 5 games.
You still think Kansas City? We gonna get that Christmas Day dub?
Oh yeah. Just because this is not the best version of the Kansas City Chiefs.
My bets now. I'm gonna put in. I mean, it's not available right now, but after Sunday's game when it pops up, I'm gonna put it in. I am going to take 4 times the amount of money that I place on a bet. And I'm putting it on.
Oh, you wild.
Travis Kelce to score 2 touchdowns because notoriously, history-wise, will show you the Steelers always get torched by tight ends. No matter who they are playing, the tight ends always have games.
2 touchdowns?
Whether it be Isaiah Likely, whether it's Mark Andrews, whether it's Gronkowski, who just ate us alive. Go ahead and mark it down now. Pull this clip.
He said
Travis
2 touchdowns.
Kelce, 2 touchdowns against the Steelers on Christmas Day. The odds are going to be like plus 1,500, 2,500. Take whatever your normal bet is. If it's $10, bet 40 on this. And thank me afterwards with a nice Christmas gift because it's going to happen. 2 touchdowns, Kelce. Justin Powell, I know you're watching. Make that bet down, man. It's happening. Let's talk culture. Well, first off, replay. The NFL is looking at replay, John. They're looking to possibly add instant replay reviewable for face mask penalties. To go back and look, since they've missed 3 of them in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I'm not sure I like that. So, like, the coach would have to call it, though. Yeah, you missed the face mask. Something like that. And
they're looking to, and the committee apparently has said they're going to review and revamp the onside kick policy that we talked about was complete trash, where you have to announce it and all that shit. We knew that was happening.
Okay.
They said it's a dead quote. The committee said, "quote It was a dead play." The dog even agrees with a dead play. Colts Colts have a huge one this Sunday, 4:25
Absolutely.
out in Denver. They're down 2 games in the playoffs to the Broncos. You cannot go down 3 and theoretically 4 with the tiebreaker to the Broncos there. This is the Colts push, man. You got at Denver, could be a win. Home against Tennessee, who's trash, that's a win. At the Giants, that's a trash team, it's another win. And home against Jacksonville, who's a trash. You can roll off these last 4 and put you in.
Yeah, they got to get they better get the best version of Anthony Richardson they can this weekend. He's looked like he's, you know what I'm saying, managed. You know what I'm saying? We remember, you know what I'm saying, the wins, but like, you know what I'm saying, that was 2 weeks ago. And it ain't like Denver. You know what I'm saying? The criticism coming to Denver was, you know what I'm saying, this long and two, you know what I'm saying, young quarterback who wasn't really young. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of shook off a lot of those criticisms, won some games, managed some games too for Denver. It ain't, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of more still defense that kind of carries that squad. If that's so, that's indicative of what means. Like they're gonna be on Anthony Richardson. You know what I'm saying? But we are also ourselves facing this Colts defense. Got to do something, Brandon. They got to do something. So they facing the rookie. They facing the rookie quarterback. Their damn self, man. Make him look like a rookie.
I'm trying to see what the spread is currently here. I actually put a bet on. It was plus 220 for the. It was plus 220 for the Colts to make the playoffs, and this is an easy schedule. This is
probably like 8 points. It's probably like 8 points.
You think it's no? It ain't no way at Denver it's 8 points. The spread is 4.
Okay, times 2.
Steelers are plus 5.5 at Philly.
It's gonna be a good game, man.
Hey, best game of the week might be the other game at 4:25. Besides Steelers and Eagles, you also got Bills at Lions. Super Bowl preview, maybe. Even though the Bills looked a little bad last week.
Man, you know, one of the teams gonna have some bad luck on the way. But, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs, man. I can't see the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Real quick, Pacers. Hot garbage. 10-15, 9th in the East. They're shopping for a backup due to Miles Turner due to some injuries. I personally think Obi Toppin, man, he's getting moved. I really do here in the next day or two.
I'm kind of mad about it though, man. It ain't Obi. I mean, Obi Toppin has played better. I was real super critical of Obi Toppin. So like the first 2-3 weeks, man, he was like, "Where you at, Obi?" You know what I'm saying? And they kind of like he's kind of like a highlight player anyway. Doesn't necessarily do great things, rebounding or anything like that. But he, you know what I'm saying, scoring, and he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Now it's here because like all these other guys are out rotationally, and he's getting, you know what I'm saying. But like the team is still losing. It's not necessarily Obi Toppin's fault. It's not necessarily Obi Toppin's fault. They do need a little. Saying with the injuries that they sustained, with you know what I'm saying, with the center position, they need a center. Moses Brown's not going to cut it. Even if they do bring him back.
I heard they're going to bring him back.
Right. Even they're going to bring him back on a cheaper contract. Moses Brown said, "Well, Moses Brown has some inspired play. It's still
Purdue Pacers we're looking at.
First Pacers. Yeah, but not Brandon. Tell me, but like it boggles the mind why this team.
Kelly Olynyk. I don't.
He's a stretch. He's a stretch. He's a stretch.
I don't want Robert Williams. Sorry, I don't want him either.
That's not a bad pickup. So what you sending Obi Toppin that way? That's not a bad pickup.
Give me Vucevic.
No, man.
Or here's one that's been talked. They're good. They were interested. Give me Travis Kelce's twin. Give me Valanciunas.
He plays hard. He plays hard. He's slower than Sabonis, though. I don't know if he can keep up with the Pacers.
Well, we don't have anybody out there. It ain't gonna matter. How worried still are you about our $215 million superstar? That's
who you should be highly concerned about. Like, man, you talk about trading players.
38. He need to give himself a 38th Street girl.
No, you can't come over here. Not on 38th Street no more. Don't do that. don't like maybe back in the 90s you got away with, you know what I'm saying, it was, you know, you come back away pretty clean, you know what I'm saying, come up on Post Road, but like that ain't Tyree. That ain't the place you want to find yourself, Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know what it is, Brandon. It's frustrating. He
4 for 10
and
9 points the other night.
And he like defensively, he's about as bad as Damian Lillard. You know what I'm saying? Can't stand in front of his man, or you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like oh man, I thought you had that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of deal. So like, if he's not scoring, he's a liability. Dude, TJ McConnell had 30. Come on, man. I blew my mind. I was like, what? The backup? Who has more value right now? Of course, you know, Tyrese Halliburton, but the Pacers have put, and the city has put a whole lot into and believing in Tyrese Halliburton. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now, dude, like no more cameras and driving in
Tyrese
the
hasn't
indicator.
had.
Like,
Yeah,
you gotta
he hasn't
step
had
up,
10
man.
assists in a game, and he's supposed to be the facilitator, right? The leader, the kind of get the offense going. Johnny hasn't had 10 assists in a game in the last 8 games. The last time he had one was right before Thanksgiving. And guess what? We're almost a week out from Christmas.
You gotta be more. You gotta get that scoring up. You gotta get that. He's got to become a scorer. You gotta become the leader of the team. Who's the leader of the team, Brandon? I don't know. Who's the leader of the team? Ben Mathurin?
No.
Paige Siakam? Who's the leader of the team?
Pascal Siakam. You did Pascal Siakam and Paige Stojakovic all in one single.
Because I'm mad. I want to bring back Goga Batazzi. Bring him back.
He's got Cuz hair.
This ain't the Yankees organization. The Pacers.
By the way,
you know,
did the Magic just we're gonna let Dame just go in for a wide open layup? That was a terrible way to end that game last night. I mean, I loved it for my bet, but still.
Man, that was. I watched that tape. Man, I'm not no coach, but I watched. There's a lot of bad NBA. Man, that's kind of the reason why their rate. That's the reason why their ratings. We got to get deep stated. That's the reason why their ratings and stuff is down. Man, there's a lot of bad NBA bad calls. You talk about Dame and the layup, the uncontested. Man, I saw the triple step. Like I thought it was supposed to be a Euro step, but I seen a triple step 3. Like that's the travel.
Oh, Dame's again.
Man, oh my gosh, Brandon, that's bad. That's bad basketball, man. I like the. I was like, dude, I had to hurry up and get that off my screen. I watched the Horizon League last night.
Hey, Doug's team took another loss, man. It's not going well.
Now, yeah, I watched a little bit the recap from IU Indy versus Northern Kentucky from this weekend. That was when Northern Kentucky came in and got a 2-pointer win over. Hey man, that's the day. Many teams play for defense. If they had somebody over the top guy, a legit 6'10" guy, either one of those teams, man, you can get them in the tournament. But like other than that, man, great defense out of IU Indy. The homie got it was Paul. I don't want to jack up his name, Brand. Paul Kowarski, man, he got that team out there playing good defense, man. That's one thing. And like you know, what I'm saying, as long as they don't catch a couple of them wind tunnels out there at the jungle, they can manifest points for sure.
Jimmy Butler is going to opt out, be a free agent in 2025. They've started listing some people as trade candidates. The Warriors, the Phoenix Suns are top candidates for Jimmy Butler for a trade.
How many more years are left of legitimacy, like elite level play does Jimmy Butler really have, though, man? So, like, are we really going to crash out? You said 3 months? Yeah, man. I don't know.
Hey, man, Reggie Miller in the news. He's in the mix to be the lead play-by-play analyst for NBC on NBA if they can get him off of Turner.
Since the Turner breakup, he's gonna go to NBC. I mean, it's good to see Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller knows the game.
It'd be him and Tarico as the lead. That'd be the number 1 lead crew every week.
Oh man.
I like it.
Can NBC bring Peyton back on too? Peyton Manning?
Juan Soto, John, 15 years, $760 million with the Mets.
It's weird, man. They offered him the money. The Yankees gave him the money. They said $60 million less. They offered him $700.
Oh, when you're making $700 million, I don't think $60 million really matters, really.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, man. He's running away from the Yankees needed him to.
You said they disrespected his family a little bit.
They need a pitcher, man.
Something happened there at Yankee Stadium with his family, and that's pissed him off.
You went to the World Series, and the Dodgers just kept on cracking them off.
And you had the best superstar next to you. Well, second best superstar next to you.
Second best superstar next to you, man. Good luck with the Mets and that big head baseball Met thing they got. Good luck, man. But I think the Yankees, they just signed somebody else for like $200, a pitcher, lefty.
Max Fried, yes, from the Braves.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they need. They probably need to get another pitcher, to be honest with you.
Yep.
And the Yankees be right back in the World Series. Sorry, Soto.
This is Coach Chris Artist, and you're listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio.
Thank you to our guy, Chris Artis there. John, last
Well, you
thing I
clown.
have, two things. By the way, I need you to show some respect to
To who?
SEC basketball
Man, I don't
because
believe it. I
they
will.
have 9 teams
I
ranked
will.
in the top
I
25.
will.
1,
I will.
2, 5, 7, 9, 13, 17, 19, and 25. The number one team, your Tennessee Volunteers.
Where's Oklahoma at?
I don't
Is
know.
Oklahoma at the time? Damn. The homie should have never left Loyola. He should never left Loyola to go there.
Should have went to
He
IU.
should. I know. Don't you tell? I already know.
Last thing I have, and this is to put a little icing on the cake for you before we pulled a little 2-week hiatus here for vacation and on Christmas week. We'll probably do a live like this on Christmas week. Probably, I think we will.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll do one of these. We have to. We've got a lot to catch up. We got to catch up on the games. So yeah, we'll do one the week of Christmas. So fire it up, people. We will not have one next week. But John, last thing, the NCAA talking as President Charlie Baker is bullish and believes that they are on the leading edge of prospects of expanding the NCAA tournament to 72 or 76 teams as early as 2026. This would be
76.
it would be capped at 76 due to scheduling and their limited window with getting the games started after the conference tournaments and ending before the Masters.
Man, I don't.
And you want to know who was pushing for this the best and had the one-on-one meeting with the NCAA president in Vegas during this?
Who did this?
Mr. Greg Sankey. He wants more
of course.
large teams.
I'm like, why would you want a below average whoever mid-major?
You don't
Why
care.
would you
More
wanna-
money in the NCAA tournament
Right.
goes to
Why
those
would-
SEC schools.
Yeah, I mean,
We're taking more
but,
teams on now. Put us in.
but the world is not like football, Brandon. When it's not. America is not. Right? The world likes basketball, but you can't sell the world, Japan, China, Iran, whatever, the NBA, because of those, you know what I'm saying? You can't sell on Wisconsin basketball. You might sell some sports betting because they don't know. I'm not saying that they're undereducated or anything like that. You might sell some more sports betting on all that, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not picking on Wisconsin basketball, but like Wisconsin, Cincinnati, Xavier, IU, Dayton, dude, you have to have like personal pride in your organization. Like, dude, if you didn't make it, we didn't deserve to make it. Like, why accept the ref? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this dude's saying, like, no, man, take this, man, because everybody loves more basketball. Like, no, man, if your program didn't make it, you're supposed to have that hard summer. Or if you did make it, you're supposed to have that hard, you know what I'm saying? And you were fly by night, you're supposed to have that hard summer. But like everybody getting in, like, then what do we have to just start the fucking gotta be cussing. Start the freaking tournament.
Deep state.
Start the freaking tournament 2 weeks after say the regular season, 2 weeks, and like we doing an eye test tournament. Everybody's
Let me ask you this. Do you want to get rid of the conference tournaments then? If you get rid of conference tournaments and you add your 76 teams, that gives you an extra week.
Nah, see, this is a trick, Brandon. Remember when all these?
Not trying to trick you.
Remember, not you personally. Remember when, like, before they made the Big Ten have a conference tournament, and the Big Ten, it was just like one losses or whatnot, and like, you know, what I'm saying, the ACC had its own uniqueness because they had this wild conference tournament, like after, you know, what I'm saying, after their crazy regular season. At this point, man, I'm so ingrained with it, like having conference tournament, like that's important. Like, man, you're Cinderella. What about that? Like, man, what about the Cinderella slipper? Like, you ain't no more Cinderella. Everybody's in. So even the ugly stepsisters get in. That's what you're telling me. The ugly stepsisters and the rat. You know what I'm saying? The turn from a pumpkin, boppity boo, zippity doo. Everybody get Grand Sankey, man. Don't. I get him. I get him tonight. I find it.
Okay. Anything else, John, before we go? We'll make our picks for once again, we'll make our picks for the college football bowl season. We have certain games we're selecting. We'll have those picks. We'll post them on our Facebook page and on Twitter and stuff. We won't make them picks live on here, but we'll have our picks out for that. If you didn't see, congratulations to John. He was our regular season champion this year. So props to you, John, on the great season. And yeah, we'll have our picks. No show next week, but we'll be back during Christmas week to have a little show like this.
Absolutely. No, I ain't got nothing else, man. Thanks everybody for tapping in with us, man. Happy holidays.
That's good. See
Thanks
ya.
for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. You can find more episodes on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Crossroads sports content.